Put my the podcaster face on, right? Like put my blading on the brain persona on, whatever that means, because it's literally the same person. Oh, thank you. I think before anything else, thank you, Ali, for not only engaging me in this conversation, but being willing to put your voice out there, to be able to speak on your feelings, and to trust me that I'll make this a safe space for us to have a conversation, a discussion, and that my intentions are clear. So, for anyone who's watching, I've been having conversations with skaters, Asian skaters, around what happened at Winterclash with Andy, because as a black man in America, I don't pretend to know what it feels like for an Asian skater to see that comment, what it means for us to be supportive, and what it looks like for everyone to really come together and do something. Because I'm not about just talking, I'm not about just witch hunts, I'm about action. I want to see action, and I think in this time and age, we are more than capable of creating action and doing it as a community. So, with that said, I wanted to invite some amazing Asian skater voices on to talk about what the hell just went down last week. Like, what? What? So this is a really quick convo. It should be really fun. I hope that we find some place to really just align and that I learn. My goal is to learn, and for anyone else watching, to learn from your experience. So I have 6 questions for you, Ali. It's basic. It starts out easy. It doesn't get any harder, but maybe a little more in depth as we go. And the goal is just, like I said, to spark some discussion. So I thank you for being here today with me and for engaging all of us in what should be just the type of thing we do all the time, which is talk to each other. If you don't know, find out. So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is new for me, so I'm excited
Yay!
and to give you all my information and experience. So thank you.
My pleasure, 100%. So we're gonna start with question one. It's like straightforward, and like I said before, if there's anything you don't want to answer, just be like pass, and we'll keep it moving. But this first question is, who are you? So what's your name? How old are you? Which I know I'm never supposed to ask a lady, but I think it's kind of important for this discussion. And where are your roots? Like, where's your nationality as part of this whole ethnicity, as part of this whole diaspora of being an Asian American or being Asian in this country? Like, where you come from, where your mama stay, that kind of thing. So your name, your age, and tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, my name's Alli Tong or Allison. That's only if I'm in trouble. Don't ever call me that unless I'm in trouble. I'm 26. I was born in San Francisco, and I grew up in El Sobrante, which is a very small town, really close to Richmond. Kind of in that whole northeast Bay circle that no one really knows about unless you know Richmond Skate Park. That's a fun one. A little sketchy, but it's fun. I didn't grow up skating there though. I actually was a swimmer my whole life. I got into roller skating in 2020, broke my ankle. A year later, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I tried again after I healed. A year later, I got into rollerblading, and I broke my ankle again on my other one. So first was my right, and then was my left, and that was all like during COVID time. So and I just had a lot of time to heal and to rest and reflect. So then I really just got into both of them. Got into roller skating and rollerblading. Found a really good community within the South Bay and East Bay area. I met you. I met so many other wonderful homies that it really helped me grow. Um, but yeah, that's just my skate aspect. I guess like my background, besides my skate background, is I'm a Chinese American. My mom don't exactly know what city or what province she grew up in China. But my dad grew up in Hong Kong, and his dad was Shanghainese. They didn't really speak too much Chinese to me, so I feel like a very whitewashed American. I am like second gen, so they immigrated to America. My dad grew all over the place. He went from like New York to Hawaii to San Leandro, San Mateo, all in the Bay Area. Eventually landed in San Francisco. Um, my mom, she like immigrated here when she was a teenager, and her family like had this really cute grocery store. So she was working the like literally while she was an elementary, a teenager, college, like at a store. And I'm like, that's so sick, mom. Like you really made it. She paid for her own college. She paid for her own cars. She had boyfriends pay for her own cars. She had it all. She was really living life. Um, Definitely different now. But yeah, that is just a little scoop of what my mom and my family, my dad, my family's life was like.
Amazing.
My life. So yeah, I also let me just say, living in Richmond was not easy for being a Chinese girl too. I feel like I was like one out of like 10 in a handful of people in my school. So I felt pretty outcasted. Um, but also like embraced by the small community that I had. Um, So when I found out there was like more skaters in the South Bay area that were of color or Asian, I was like, I found my people. And it's great. It feels wonderful to be surrounded by like all different walks of life and ethnicities. So I really found my place there with with my with skating.
Oh man, I think anything from like my time skating with you or watching you as you came up, and like I didn't realize that was really your like intro moments in the pandemic and when you were really getting started, because your energy's infectious. And it just always seemed like you're like, well, I've done this, I've fallen before, so I'll just get up and rep and rip this trick. And you're like, okay, wow, all right. I probably would have stayed on the ground for like another 30 minutes, but like there she is. She's up and she's back at it. So your energy, I just appreciate it. I'm like, this is gonna be so fun. And your background, let's be real. Like, I have so much to unpack. So let's just keep unpacking because we're
Yeah.
gonna get there. So currently you ride two different setups. What
hmm
are they? What's your quad setup look like? Like what is the pieces, and then what are the pieces of your aggressive setup?
Okay, so my quad setup, I'd gone through a couple different kinds of boots. I went through Moxies, I went through Bont, I went through, well, I didn't go through Kaya yet, but currently on a Von Merlin skate, which is a black owned company. Um, my homie Jaquan Rollicky, amazing, amazing skater. He also rollerblades and roller skates, but mainly roller skates. He has a dance background, but he also has like aggressive rollerblading background. He got me into the Von Merlins, excuse me, which are a carbon fiber boot, which it kind of similar to what's the one
Like
that
adapt?
yeah, like an adapt boot, but all leather, like not the suede, just the leather, a hard leather, and it has like a carbon fiber heel. It's really tall, super cool, really easy to get you into your like sitting grinds. I use them for aggressive roller skating, and I'm on like a plastic, I guess you could call it frame or a plastic plate, and I have like metal trucks made by Huck and wheels made by Moonshine, which is a rollerblade company. Yeah, Moonshine, and also um, Brunny Australian slide blocks. So that's what my current setup looks like. Super good, the most durable one I've ever skated in my life. And I don't know if I can switch over to anything else, but it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, like traditional look. It's more techie looking um, than like your standard boot that looks like suede and a shoe. It looks like a robotic boot, but it's to me is like the best fitting and supportive for my type of skating. Um, yeah, that's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey on that skate, and I wish more people ride them. But like with the kind of skating that I do, I guess it's it definitely serves its purpose.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and not two people ride it. Like I said, just me and Jaquan and dance skaters, to be honest. But dance skaters, they be skating for like fucking 6 hours, 8 hours in the same boot, and they're fine. And I'm like, I couldn't be in like my previous boot for more than a couple hours without it feeling like I'm sinking or like
Huh.
pulling apart. So the tech on quad side is not very advanced yet. But on rollerblading, it is far advanced. It is perfect the way it is. I think it's perfect the way it is.
And you're skating, I know, Mesmer team boots.
Yeah, I'm on the T2s, the gray ones. And then I went from the Kaiser, I think it's a Fluid 4 or something that was on that comes with the complete
Mm-hmm.
package. And I'm on the T-neck courts, court frames, size small, got I have tiny feet. So it does fit though, it fits the boot well. Um, However, I feel like being a girl, I have pretty small feet, so not everything's gonna fit me right. So I actually like tried out the Razor Locas. I had done that before I had the Mesmer skates, and they fit me perfectly. Like right out the box, I was like, "Whoa, these fit good," and like they feel so attached to my feet.
Mm.
So like when a skate
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel like it's attached to your feet, you're just like this feels kind of weird. Make it work, but it doesn't feel right.
I totally know what you're talking about. That puts you in an interesting situation spot right now where you find a skate that fits, and there may be challenges with whether you can move forward and skate that actual skate. Like, wow, I have been, if you know, for anyone who follows my channel, I've been on a journey since Adapts closed out their line of aggressive skates because that was the skate that fit me. I got weird feet. I've been skating for like 30 years, and like my feet are just because of it weird. And they worked. They were perfect out the box. I didn't have to do anything. They're light enough that my old knees are happy. And I've been on a year plus journey to try to find a skate that can replace what I had. And the first skate to actually feel good all the way through was a Razor SL. And I've never skated Razors before. Like, it's never been even a skate that I thought I wanted to skate. I hate the creak, the sound, right? I hate all that.
Mhm.
And so, like, I never tried it. And now I finally try it. And here I am. My current setup is a Razor SL. And I'm like, shit, can I skate those still? I don't I don't
Yeah,
actually know. Like, I don't know the answer to that question yet. But it is all I have. So I would
yeah,
like to skate.
yeah. It's conflicting, right? Like, and I get like I get it. Like I want to be able to try all kinds of boots. Like I was previously sponsored for quads by a team. Not gonna mention who. And the team was cut. Just I think funding was low, and that's understandable. We had contracts were cut short, and it was probably like the best experience of my life. Like I loved it so much. It was amazing. I would like never take it back ever, even with all the trials and tribulations and you know uh all that just was amazing. But yeah, I feel like now I have the freedom to try different things, and even then like I'm just stuck at like, oh, like ethically what do I feel is right to choose, because I'm gonna do it all regardless. But with like the ethics of a company versus the ethics of the person that owns it, is it's like such a hard thing to deal with, especially like when you can't unsee their actions.
So yes. Question number 3. It really does talk about what went down in Winterclash and how did Andy's story make you feel? Like on a visceral level, your first gut reaction when you saw it, you were like, fill in the blank.
From the get-go, I was like, I didn't get it at first. I was like, "Whoa, wait a second. Did he just?" And then I had to look at it again. And I was like, "That's not. Is that even his name? That's not even his name, bro." And then I was like, "Wait, that's racist." I was like, "Whoa." I think because I guess because of the way I've grown up, like I don't know, I grew up around a lot of guys. Like all my friends were guys, and we're just like dumb, ignorant little people, little teenagers. And I mean, it just went right past me. But then later on talked to my friend, and she was like, the funny thing is, that's my mom's name. That's not even an original. That's like, it's not even. It's like it's a real name. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that's actually your mom's name? And she was like, yeah, so it's kind of funny, but it's also really messed up because he couldn't even be fully racist. Like he couldn't have just said like Ching Chong or something. No, it was genuinely someone's name. And I don't know if that was him trying to be funny or just half-assed, or maybe that's like in in his life as a way to say some Chinese name. So I'm like, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. Like, what if, like, what if it was a lady, or what if it was, another? What if it was someone who was black? Like, what would happen then? Like, he exposed himself, and it was just so wrong.
For me, this is all really dope. Like I know it's like rehashing some like pain, right? It's
Hmm.
trauma, but like I'm learning so much because there's so many moments where I'm like, okay, it did wash right over me. Like I was like, wait, okay, research, that's not their name. Is that a pejorative? Like, is that name what he said? Is that like, because I kept asking people, is that like someone calling me boy? Like you say boy to me as a black man, I'm looking at you like we about to fight. You don't call me boy, especially if I'm in the South somewhere and they're like, come over here, boy. I'm like, oh, never that. Like, never gonna happen. I'm a man with kids. No. And so
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is it the same? Like, is this like some rhyming name that people use as a negative all over the place? And I could not find anything about it. And then to hear that it's your friend's actual mom's name, I'm like, you're right. Like, well, this is some weird mental. Like, were you messing with us? Like, were you just half-assed racist? And you couldn't think of a better term? Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, I just like could not believe that. And then I was like, well, it would have been better if he just said like Jackie Chan or someone we fucking know. Like,
Like,
what?
like be real with your racism. Like, come out. Like, just do it.
Yeah, you're, I mean, and just by taking the photo and then saying gave our booth to blah blah blah, like what was it, like Wing Jing Wing
Chin Wing
Yang?
Chan or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Like the fact that he knows some of those words means he knows he's racist. Like, oh, I mean, on that note, right?
What the hell, man?
I don't know.
So he said, so what I was saying is he came with like some alternative, like an undercover racist statement where he wasn't even like out front, which I've dealt with my whole life, which is just like low key racism. So with that said, he then came with another attempt at something called an apology.
Yeah,
How did that make you? How did that land with you? Do you accept this apology?
absolutely not. Like, first of all, like he didn't even state what he did. He like vaguely went over the entire topic. Like I remember reading Michael Kraft's Instagram post, which was like so like every word, every sentence broken down. Just it was such a good uh sarcastic, elaborate explanation of what these sentences meant. And I'm like, he didn't say anything. He didn't even say sorry. He didn't even say sorry for his actions. He said sorry how it made you feel. How it made me feel was that I want your words of apology and a signature that's not from my fonts. Like, because I saw that. No, give me your handwriting. I don't want a handwritten note. I don't want a. I don't want your PR person to make a statement. Like what?
I think that so far, universally, that has how it has landed with most people. Is that it was a not even a band-aid, it was a PR move, it was damage control. There was a level of transparency that I've learned a new term for, which is like where you it's called floodlighting. It's where you presumably are being transparent and vulnerable, but really you're just saying, hey, if you felt this way, it's your own fault.
Uh, that's wow. Okay, gaslight.
Yeah, no, it's like gaslighting to a whole nother level. It's like a whole. It's happened to me now. I didn't know it, and I learned the word, and I was like, floodlighting. I get it. Like I see. If I thought you were racist, it's because chances are I'm racist, isn't it? Oh,
Oh, it's on me now. Wow.
So you do not accept this apology, and I don't blame you. To be 100% honest, I do feel like there's more. There's a lot more that could be done, that should be done, and that could have, and now maybe it might be too late to do, but we'll see. And so this is my next question: is what can he, maybe nothing, the man Andy, or the brand do to start the healing process, to show that those statements were statements, and we are now on a journey of anti-racism. We are going to be the most supportive. We're coming out and we're saying that was wrong, and we're doing the thing that is necessary to heal. Is there anything that he or the brand can do?
I mean, I don't know if there's someone that could fit better for in this position. Like, there's obviously so many people are so upset with him, but as a brand, like, I like the brand. I just don't like the him. Like, his decisions are were terrible. And I mean, I don't have like all the facts written out, but I know that he has a history of that bad, just bad things, bad reputation, and that just really kills the brand. So, like, I don't know. I don't mean to say he needs to step down. Some people might agree with that. It's not my place to say, but it's just like if there was an action, I could see that being one. Um, what I've done, I mean, I unfollowed Razors. I still support all the people that skate for them because I love them. I love my friends that skate for them. Not necessarily who they have representing at the top, and that have felt that way for other brands. I'm not going to say who. Could be it's a couple. Honestly, there's a lot. There's a lot of that. Not everyone's perfect, but that just was messed up and very uncalled for. So I think he could give a physical statement, at least like a video apology. I want to see some remorse. I want to see some like actual words, not just an Instagram story, text, post, whatever you say. Cuz there's like I need to hear how much you really messed up. And that shows to me how like what's genuine, because that statement didn't feel genuine at
Mm,
all.
mm.
Like, signing off, taking a break. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, no, it really did feel like an underscore to a really bold statement that then you just kind of like try to put in a little light envelope and mail out, like, you forgot about that, right? Let's just slip this under the rug with this blanket apology statement. And I agree with you. There's some actions that can easily be done. I think directly apologizing on a video, like you said, to the owner of Cougar with their actual name,
yeah.
like speaking directly to the person that you harmed. Shout outs to Chris for that one. He mentioned it in our previous conversation, and I was like, yeah, he never even apologized to the actual person he harmed. Like truly, you said, like, my name is Kenan. I hear Keenan all the time. It's pretty normal for me to just say, cool, you said Keenan, we're good. I'm not mad at you. But that's pretty close to my name. That's a more common name. Like, I understand how it happens. But
Hmm.
even now and then, I appreciate when someone's like, my bad, or they're like, wait, I've heard it Keenan today and I've heard it Kenan. Which one is it? I'm like, it's Kenan. Thank you for asking. That shows that you care about me as a human. Like,
Right.
I'm a human here. And then I was thinking, what if Razor's the brand itself did something with Cougar? Like, actually came together and were like, you know what? We done messed up. We want to support Asian skaters and this brand run, this Chinese owned brand, by doing a collaborative, putting on a something, a
Uh,
contest, or I don't know. There's lots of ways to show that you have now working together with someone in order to mend and build a bridge. And I think those are moves that I like to see, because I'm not one of these folks. I've been on the I'm older. I've been on the front lines of racism my whole life. At some point, the memes are done. Like, at some point, the yelling and screaming about it is not moving the needle, and I actually need to see action. I need to see you go and show me that you wronged a lot of people, and you feel it. Like you said, you want to see the remorse. So I appreciate what you just said.
yeah. I really like that idea that you mentioned about like maybe them collaborating, or like I don't know, Razor putting on an event where like you okay,
You
I
try on
think
Cougar skates.
yeah, or try out Cougar skates, or a portion of the sales from razors goes to Cougar to support their brand. And it could be something like that, win-win, right? Like that way it's not it's it's supporting them in some form and yourself. I mean, I feel like razors is going to have a plummet in sales, from this whole experience, sales, followers, all of that. The reputation doesn't get better if you don't try and do something about it. So that's probably the best outcome.
Hmm.
And if he wants to monetize that way.
Do something, but do
Yeah.
something. I agree with you. Do something. And
The very least is an apology to the owner of Cougar Skates.
bravo.
That's the very least.
Yeah, I would love to see our community call for these types of actions and really like put the onus on the owner to make amends. And this goes to my last question, which is really about the community. There was enough outpouring of everything from those who were angry and calling for boycotts to those who wanted to just meme the hell out of the situation to those who really were like, stepping up and saying, I'm no longer associated with this brand and moving on from the brand. We saw a lot of that. As someone, as an Asian skater, a Chinese skater, did you feel supported by the responses of the community? And if so, what particular responses stood out to you as like truly being supported of the Asian community?
I honestly, when I was watching the Jumbo podcast, I really appreciated Andrew Broom for just saying like he doesn't stand for that shit here, and like you just don't do that. I find that really strong coming from a white man. Like I love that. I love seeing just non-Asian skaters, non-black skaters, like really supporting us. That means a lot. It says a lot about your character. Um, there was a long podcast, that's for sure. But the other people that are trolling, it's like, are you getting the point, or are you making fun because it's like they did something bad? Like, so it's hard to tell. But I also really appreciate the skaters that quit, like, and because they stand, that's their moral compass right there. Like they stand for no racism, anti-racism, and we need more of that. I do also understand where some of the skaters on the team for Razor are coming from. Like they're staying because they're stuck. They don't know if they should keep it might be part of their way of living. It might be part of their income, which is anything is helpful. Especially in the skate world, like it's not that easy to support yourself financially just through skating. There's like almost no way, unless you're like, I don't know,
I don't even know
a
who that is.
model for someone that skates. I don't know if you're a film skater, you might be able to make it. I know some film skaters that are doing that for their life, and that's amazing. Um, but yeah, no, it's pretty much impossible if you're gonna be filming or skating full time. I know that from experience. I'm still working, and it helps. It does help, but seeing that part on the other hand, like for the skaters that are still committed to Razor, they're committed to the brand and not him. I understand that. So
Mm,
it's the fine line. Um, yeah, I would say the most outstanding thing was Andrew Broom. He, like, props to him
shout
for,
out LST.
yeah, love his skating too.
I
It's amazing.
mean, yeah. I mean, dude has been at the forefront of the brand. He's been the face of the brand for years. He is one of the most consistent members of the team in terms of his skating, upping his level, showcasing his skating in all types of formats. And yeah, Broomski is pretty legit, and he's come up. I mean, I think that's something that is hard, right? Because Razors has given people opportunities to come up, to go from wanting to be a part of a pro scene and wanting to be more engaged to actually having that pro skate, and they've done that for a lot of people. And it is such a challenge to go, there's the brand history, and then there's the owner and his history, and then there are all the people in between, right? And so I stand with you that if there was a way to step down from ownership or managerial control, and you're just like the X's and O's guy, because business is business and I am mad at business. Honestly, Razor sales help keep our community alive in many countries where you don't see other companies selling products. But yeah, like how can the brand distance? Can it rebrand? Can there like I think in one of our threads we're like, let's just go to Alibaba, buy the skates because you know the mold is free at this point. Buy the skates and rebrand them and then just sell them as our own thing, and be like, we just like this design. Like it's really the design that works. So such an interesting moment for our community, right? For us to really stand firm, follow suit, and like Andrew Broom and others, and stand our ground and say this is not a space where racism plays a role. This community is trying to move away from racism in all its forms and admonish it, never condone it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and when that day happens, I think that we'll have literal world peace.
Yo, if I mean, like honestly, if there's a microcosm of the world, right, a small subset of the humans that exist in this larger picture, rollerblading does a pretty good job of capturing the
Sorry.
multiple facets of humanity that exist, right? We have like a pretty diverse community, and it's rooted in one main tenet, which is we rollerblade, we skate, we love it, we want to do it all the time. We kind of have a passion that if going unchecked becomes an addiction, right? Well, I just want to skate all the time.
Yeah, and that's why the community is so important because like, we can bring that energy to different walks of life besides like, there's so many different people that go to the skate park. There's so many different people in the skate park that like that's like one main reason why I bring such good energy because there's so much bad in the world. Like that's
Mm,
the one place you can just be like truly good, truly yourself, and like to just random people, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, like that energy is awesome! Like I want to have that kind of energy. I want to spread that to the world, and that transcends outside of the skate park so much. So having that just good community, everyone's equal, everyone just wants to have fun. Like just if that keeps going, if that went to the Razors business, I think we would all everyone would bloom.
mm.
But it doesn't work that way. Does not work that way.
Hasn't worked that way yet.
Not yet.
I'm gonna stay with your energy and go. It's possible for
Mm-hmm.
our community, especially. We have an ability to tap in to just what you said, the supportive, really positive nature. That's not toxic and positive. I can tell you if you rolled it and tell you to do it again. That's
Yeah.
okay. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see it better. I want to see you be the best version of
It's
yourself.
you and like trying to get someone to be their best,
Yes.
and that's nothing but positive. It shouldn't be taken as a negative thing. Some people take criticisms hard,
That's
but
because they didn't grow up JSF. So I grew up skating JSF where like if you didn't lace it the way Vinny would have laced it, it just wasn't enough. Go back.
gotta
Rinse
bone
it.
that shit out, as
Gotta,
Chale has said.
that's right. Gotta bump that thing out.
Hmm.
Allie, you are a light. When we skate again, I'm gonna make sure to hug you out extra hard. I might not. I'm gonna break no ribs, but I'm gonna come in for a big old bear hug because I appreciate you. I appreciate the time you just took to really have good conversations. Like people want to talk about hard conversations. This wasn't a hard conversation. This was a good conversation. I feel enlightened. I feel like I know a little bit better how I can move in unison and in support of my Asian brothers and sisters who skate because like ultimately that is it. I want to see us all grow and prosper, and I don't want there to be folks getting in the way of that. Like I really don't, and I want to have a better understanding. And so through conversations with you and the other Asian skaters that are going to come on and answer these 6 questions, I feel like I'm going to come to a better understanding, a more holistic understanding of how these events really played out and how they made people feel and how I can best move moving forward in support. And I hope anyone listening, watching, whatever however you intake this, maybe you never even see it, but you heard about it, know that that was the goal, was for us to all learn and really get experience from those who are firsthand experiencing it. I don't need secondhand all the time. I actually sometimes just want to know how it make you feel so I can act accordingly.
Best said right there. Yes.
You're a light. We're gonna skate soon. And thank you. Thank you so very much.